Okay, so let's move forward to our presentation. And these are parts of today's plan. We will be speaking a little bit about the factory itself, then about different types of systems available for home automation, and then what exactly do we control, because client, they come to you asking what exactly do you control. This is not like home automation as a whole, but what exactly. And then different kinds of control devices, which is particularly very interesting for everyone who would like to offer their clients something which will be useful for them. Then how we fight for your profit and how we try to make your business going. And then how we keep you helping even after you know what to do. And at the end, I will tell you where to learn more if you would like to continue working with our system. So about the company itself. The company is called Larnitech, and we have quite a lot of different partners and branches in different countries, mostly in Europe. But here in GCC countries, we work almost 2 years already. We have this stock in Dubai, and we work for all GCC countries at the same time. The factory itself before was the factory which was the system integrator and software developer. But since 2014, they decided to start full production of their own trademark, and they are doing the design and production starting from PCBs and firmwares, and they also do software and cloud services for system integrators and for home automation. We have the team here in GCC, and this part is management part. Now you know me, and guys Yegor and Gulam, they will help you to make your BOQs and with your questions. If you ask where, please show us some examples where your system is working. Actually, many thousands of projects where it is working, but they are usually normal apartments or villas. If we speak about projects which are bigger, then we have some quite big projects which are going to continue to grow. And this one, for example, Fort Cambridge, it started to be built in 2016, and I think they still did not build the last part of it. So they are making new buildings. So these guys, they used showroom for home automation, and then they started to understand that people, they like home automation a lot, and they would like to have it in every apartment. So they asked Larnitech to make the device which will be simple enough to install in many hundreds of apartments and then to service, which is actually the main thing, to service it after. So Larnitech made this MetaForce device for this project initially. Now this is one of the most good selling system which we have. And some other projects in different countries for multi-apartment and hotel buildings. But before we continue, there is a nice and important thing which you need to understand, really, because there are a lot of different types of home automation systems on the market right now, and 3 main. And you need to understand where we are in this market. So first, there is customer installation type for the equipment. And you understand this once you talk to a client, for example, and client says, why do you not install, I don't know, Xiaomi? Why do you do not install Philips Hue like here, or maybe install Amazon or Google? And customer installation is something that client can buy directly in the shop. good things and bad things about this. Good thing is that maybe it is quite easy to install. Nothing needs to be changed. You just connect new device and this is like new function in your house. Bad thing is that it cannot be complex. It should be simple. Up to maybe 10 functions, it works well. After 10 functions, client's head becomes messy about all this. He says, we do not need this, please remove it, because it becomes quite complex. Also, it is quite dependent from internet and usually from Chinese cloud servers. So this is also not very good thing. There is another part which is called industrial automation. Industrial automation can be very, very reliable, not like this customer installation type. Industrial automation can have thousands of groups for inputs, for outputs. You can automate big systems for ventilation, huge systems for energy monitoring and many other things. But once you finish, you need to close it and not touch it. Because first, it's not so easy. It requires special software, it requires special skills. And second, if you cannot find the person who did this, it will be very hard to understand what is inside this system. So let's say you have the guy who previously did this 2 years ago. Let's say he's gone somewhere and another one came and the new one would say, maybe we should just make a new programming if you want just to switch this small thing. So not to have these problems is this type of system called professional installation. Professional installation systems are systems which we are dealing with in Larnitech. So this is a little bit from customer installation, so it is more flexible and easier to install. And another part is from industrial automation. It can be very reliable and can work for many years, and quite complex things can work. So Larnitech is doing only this part, professional installation. This is like a very small example of how small typical system works. We have this controller called DMG, main gateway. MG is for main gateway. From one side it has Ethernet connection, from another side it has connection to other devices. It uses the bus called CAN bus. If you know other buses, please tell me in the chat, like what kind of bus do you know? And I can compare maybe a little bit if you want. So there was one big reason about which I will tell you a bit later, why they chose CAN bus exactly. They did not choose other buses. But this reason is about how you set the system up. CAN bus is mostly used in cars market, vehicles market, like for example Tesla. You get Tesla and you have CAN bus inside Tesla which connects 10,000 sensors. And also in planes, in airplanes, they also use CAN bus for automation and for electronic control inside. So this is a very highly reliable system which became not so expensive after they started to use it in every car. That is why we use it in home automation controllers. It is much more reliable and much easier to be set up than any other home automation protocol which is available at the moment. This is what a typical smart distribution board looks like. If you look at this right part, this is electrical part, so electric distribution board. In Europe, they do it in one distribution board, but here usually we do it in two separate electric DB and smart DB. First, what Larnitech does is the hardware, so devices themselves. And second part is software. Software is available in Play Market, in App Store, and also for Windows and for macOS. And cloud service. And cloud service we use to have remote control. We use cloud service to have notifications, and also we use cloud service to have voice control. And one of the main things, we use it for remote servicing. There are quite a lot of integration options in our system, and we are compatible with many things, so here are some of them. On top we have 3 ecosystems: Google, Apple and Amazon. And then we have some wireless lighting, Philips Hue and IKEA wireless lighting, so we are compatible with their hubs and bridges, so you can use this type of wireless lighting, Zigbee usually. And then we are compatible with KNX and Modbus, mostly for different types of integrations, and also some others for security systems, for example SATEL and Ajax are available. And then what exactly do we control? Client comes to you asking what exactly do you control, and you answer this. You start with lighting. So we control different types of lighting at the home. And then we go to motors, actually also part of electrical control and part of lighting for many. And then we go to AC control and for climate control. Then we switch to security. We also do automation for this. Then we go to media and different kinds of audio and sometimes video functions. And then some home appliance connected recently and control elements. So these control elements, they control all of these. They control lighting, they control motors, AC, home appliance, security and media. Okay, so now a little bit more detail about each of them. Typical lighting control, what it looks like. So you can use one of the lighting controllers which we produce. This one is called DWR-RGB03, and it includes 9 channels for dimming of LED low voltage. 12 volts, 24 volts typically. And once you connect, you can set up which channels are color, which channels are monochrome, and you will control from the application with this kind of user interface. So this one is a color picker for LED strip. And this is what it looks like in a video, in a small video. This one is addressable strip control. So addressable strip, it is not just normal LED RGB strip. It is the strip where each LED having its own address, so you can make some animation like this one. We also support DALI and quite a lot of other types for lighting. Then we move to blinds and motors control. These are DIN rail types of devices which you can use for blinds and motors control. For example, this one, LC18. LC18 you can use for lighting, for blinds as well. So up to 9 motors you can connect to one of these. Or you can use small devices behind switches like this one, BW, BCLC or LC02. We have a new one now. You can connect inputs here, you can connect outputs and motors here, and immediately you control all this. Cable we use for our bus is Cat6 cable, typical Cat6 cable. These are also things which go to blinds and motors control, smart furniture, smart glass things like this one, and curtain, tubular and gates motors. Then we go to ACs. We have separate webinar of how to control lighting. We have separate webinar how to control AC. We can send this to you separately. So today, just maybe a little bit of information about all this. We can control FCUs, we can control split systems, we can control VRF, VRV systems. We use it using interfaces, infrared control, or VRF adapters or VRF gateways. So typically it looks like this. You have a thermostat controlling each AC, and you have the smartphone and some other types of devices controlling all of them. And then we also have some security functions, starting from door intercom, which we produce ourselves, and it connects using PoE. You connect it to lock. It has a relay inside, so you can open the door from the application. And also PoE is used to connect our touch panels, which are indoor part. And then we have some other security functions like notifications, and you can use camera feeds. And we have some 24/7 monitoring, for example, for smoke sensors and for water leakage sensors. And then we also have zone access alarm for doors, windows, for motion in rooms. So you can set up, for example, arm, second floor and ground floor. And on the first floor you are having your night sleep, for example. Also some media control features. We have this device called Media Point, and it is essentially smart amplifier. So you connect AirPlay to it. It can get music from DLNA. You can use voiceover audio files, and you can use public announcement features. So you can have automation sounds like, okay, curtains are open. Or maybe you have some other announcement like, for example, night mode starting, something like this. So you can use it for music and for automation. This is a typical system with 4 zones for audio. You have 4 rooms, you have passive speakers connected to this amplifier, and you have power supply for each. And all of them are connected to Ethernet wired network. Then we also have some home appliance control. For example, some clients, they want, like when their washing machine stopped, finished washing, then you should blink some green light, something like this. So it's quite easy to do. This is a small example from one of real installations where you can press a button in our application and get vacuum cleaner starting. And then control devices. Like what kinds of control devices we can use? We can use 6 main types of control devices. First one goes for normal buttons or switches, normal ones from the market, very possible to use with our system. And then smart switches. Smart switches, they have chips inside, so you can connect them in a loop and not the same way as normal switches. And then touchscreens and remotes. Also, we have sensors and different kinds of automations for them. And we have voice control, and we have some smartphone and tablet control. So let's look into these. Button and panels with LED feedback. It is possible to use, or it could be normal switches. You can use different icons on them, and we have some of product lines available for you with different kinds of designs and different kinds of colors. They can be together in the same design with sockets, with different kinds of sockets, actually data sockets and power sockets and so on. And also you can use thermostats together with them. Smart control panels, they can be a little bit different like these. You connect them in loop, also Cat6 cable. And to these thermostats, for example, you can connect AC directly. So you just use a normal connection to AC and then you connect it to our system as well. And then we have touch screens for wall installation. All of them are installed in a typical back box, a normal mounting back box. We have 4-inch, 5.5-inch, 8 and 10-inch. And you can use floor plans on these. So it is like most easy for client way to do to control your smart home using floor plan. And also, if you would like to have some additional multimedia functions and control home theater, for example, and many other things, we are compatible with remotes from RTI, like these ones. They are quite popular among clients who like heavy media installations. We also have smart sensors. We have from small ones like these to medium ones for wall installation and to bigger ones. Bigger is actually something like this. Actually, what kinds of sensors we have? First, we have motion, then light level, then humidity and temperature, then CO2. And also we have in sensors, we have feature for infrared control of air conditioners. All of these features are in this main big sensor, 6-in-1. In other sensors, these features are partly, not fully. Like only motion and light level, for example. And we also support voice assistants. You can use different kinds of smart speakers from Google, from Apple, and from Amazon. You don't need separate license for it. You don't need a separate device for it. This is all included. And then we also have our own application, which can have this light design and dark mode. And you can use it for same application you can use for smartphone, for tablet, and for Android, for iOS, and so on. Now let's move a little bit to some business things which help you to sell your system. So first, we have some clients which previously could not sell, some installers who could not sell smart home previously. Just a second. This was voice control device. So we have the product which is made in Germany, which is actually quite attractive for people, and we agreed that it will have 5 years warranty in GCC region. So in Europe, this is mostly 2 years warranty. And for building developers and for bigger projects, they give 5 years. So in GCC region, we give 5 years for all certified partners. And then we do not sell directly to the client. So this is the factory which is producing the controller. And then we sell it to appointed partner, installation partner. And installation partner is possible to be only for companies with the license and for companies who are certified after our training. And then there is a client, and installer sells the product to the client. If client comes directly to us, then we do not sell them, or if they insist, we sell them retail price and without warranty. We tell them that warranty will be available only if you install using professional installation company. And another thing, if you had experience with some kinds of systems which are wired and professional, you understand that once you connect all this, it will not work. They will all be as bricks, actually. So you will need to set it up. You will need to program these systems, and your profit will be gone after maybe 1 or 2 weeks, because you will have transport expenses, you will have to pay these people who are setting this up, and so on. So we have to address this issue. We have plug and play feature, and plug and play feature gives you immediate control after you connect it. So once you connect the system, it will work. It will be possible to control. It will be possible to test everything. And then you just set it up as client wants, like upload this floor plan, for example, set up different items. It will be much easier and up to 10 times faster than other systems. And ecosystems always ready to use. You do not need separate license again or separate device for it. And last but not least, we have a remote maintenance function. I actually used it, I've seen it a few times from other vendors, but not for smart home, but for air conditioners, for example. And there were companies who were buying these devices especially to be able to manage air conditioners remotely. So this is one of the features which we have. If any client has any problem, what you can do is you can remotely connect. You can see the state of the system. You can change some things if they ask, for example, to change some kind of scenario or some kind of name or some kind of a user interface part. And then we have some additional support things, like for example, if you want to have quick BOQ for your client, you will be able to use these kinds of spreadsheets. So you get a new room, and then you get how many light groups you control from here, how many curtains you connect from here, how many fan call zones, how many buttons you have, and you enter this for every room, and then you have BOQ immediately. Also, about prices and about special BOQs, please ask our guys who will contact you maybe after this webinar if you leave them the request. These are Yegor and Gulam. One of you probably invited you to this webinar. Also, what we do is we offer this free draft project for you. So we can do it for you for free, actually, for every of your project. If you look here closely, you will see that it is quite easy to understand. For example, we have this living room, and in this living room we have this curtain, and curtain says R1 1718. What does it mean? It means that it goes and connects in SmartDB to device named R1, channels 17 and 18. So it's quite easy to understand and quite easy to see all your features in every room and where they are connected. And then, if you would like to learn more about our system, you can go to our website larnitech.ae and you go to online training. We have basic and we have advanced. The basic version is when you don't have equipment and you want to get basic knowledge of how different devices work. Advanced is when you already have your equipment for practice. We have special showroom sets and so on. So you can practice just doing the same thing which you can see in advanced section. So what to do next? We have the partnership, and you can become one of the dealers, or if you have a good project, same, come here and we just contact you about this one. And we have separate webinars going for members only. And also we have WhatsApp and Telegram chats where you can ask technical questions, and almost immediately you will get your answer. We also have these kinds of demonstration cases, and they are quite nice. We have separate video about these. Maybe you've seen it, maybe not. But they are quite good for demonstration to any kind of client. We have also a special price for you on those. This is it. This was the whole webinar, so about 40 minutes. This is usually enough for you to get main information. Of course, not too technical, but for technical, you can actually ask or you can go to online training. Before we finish, I have one small video also for you with some examples from the real site with the video. And you can, while it's going, you can ask your questions and in the chat, so I will answer you. Okay, so I see a couple questions. First, how to become a partner. Please use this link, which you can see in the chat, and our guys, they will explain you. So basically you need to have the license to install, and you need to get some online training which is available for free. So after you do it, you have a small test. So once you pass this small test, this is enough. You will get some certification and you will be able to install it. We are new in this area. Can we get help? Yes, of course. We are helping quite a lot. So if you try with us, you will see that we help very well. So for your first project, you will need probably more help. And try to keep first project simple. Do not try to get all functions and features from the first project. Because once you have it, you will have a lot of small things around each. So if you keep, for example, lighting and AC for the first project, it will be okay. But if you go to like more complex things, and each of them will have more and more functions around, it will not be so simple. So my advice is, for your first project, just keep it very simple. And of course we will help you. Okay, so thank you guys very much. I hope you liked the webinar. See you.